Okay, well, I'm going to spend a little bit of time today uh, burning up Ramza from Final Fantasy Tactics in the Burning Wheel as a bit of an experiment because I think that the Burning Wheel would probably be a really good system for doing a Final Fantasy Tactics themed campaign, and what better way to test that out than to try to make Ramza in this system. So, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So Ramza should be fairly simple to burn up. He doesn't have a lot of life paths, but he does have some interesting relationships, and we'll see if we'll even be able to get those. So first thing is our character concept. And I think we'll burn Ramza up to the point where he becomes a mercenary, because that might be fun. So let's give it a try. So he is disgraced noble son. And he is mannish. And let's get started. So we start with his life paths. He is, of course, noble born noble. And that is a 8-year thing. He gets 5 general points, and he gets 15 resources. He takes 1 trait point, which he must use to buy Mark of Privilege. This is a required trait. Has a cost of 1. Okay. And next he is... So yeah, he definitely wasn't born as a bastard, although he was a, he is the half-brother of the legitimate heirs of his family, right? Of the Beoulve family. Oh, and if you want to see a picture of this good boy, there he is right there. This is our guy. Alright. So next, I believe he would go... So he has to go page next. Which is 6 years. Also gives him 15 resources. He gets 1 physical point. 7 skill points. And 1 trait point. And next he will take Squire, which will be 6 years, 15 resource, 1 mental, 1 physical, 9 skill points, and 1 trait point. And so for Page, he doesn't have any traits he has to take. He has to take riding as a skill. Okay, get on those chocobos. All right. And as a squire, he must take sword. And he doesn't have any traits he has to take. After being a squire, he didn't make it to knight. He was... I think he goes next directly... I think his time in the first chapter of the game would still be him as a squire. Even though his official sort of title at that point in time was cadet. I think squire is a close enough approximation of what he would have been there. So next, I think this is when he's disgraced. He becomes a mercenary, which I believe would be into the professional soldier subsetting. I think. We'll have to take a look at this. He's probably a foot soldier. Oh, but you can't... Oh, right. Yeah, you can go into soldier from squire. So, yeah, he would be able to be a foot soldier. And... Okay. I think that makes sense. I'm just going to check the town life paths in case there's one that's more appropriate there. I really don't think so. Like, he definitely wasn't a guard. Ooh, a mercenary captain. He wasn't a captain, but he worked for one. Okay, yeah. So let's go with foot soldier. I think that makes sense. So he gets 6 resources. It's not hot. And it's only 3 years, so that kind of makes sense for what we saw in the game. And takes 1 physical, 6 skill points, and 1 trait point. And he must take the skill soldiering. And he gets no traits he must take. Okay. Cool. Alright. Well, that's his life paths. That's what we're looking at. He's got 27 skill points, 3 trait points. Yeah, 3 trait points. He had to spend 1. He is 23 years old, which is a little older than he was in the game, but yeah, it's okay. Still a young man. And if we just wanted to look at what his outcast life path would be, I believe it would make sense for him to... Why don't we go all the way and get to the point where he dies? Or dies, I guess. It doesn't really die in the story, but... Should have. I could see him as an insurrectionist, but I think it makes more sense for him to be a apostate. Because that is what he's labeled as. So let's go for that. He goes from foot soldier into apostate. Oh, right, we need to go lead. So he gets a lead there, and he gets a lead here. And as an apostate, 3 years. This would, you know, be the time when the game's actually taking place in chapters 3 and 4. So he wouldn't actually finish this life path by the end of the game. He has 6 resources. He gets 4 skill points and 1 trait point, and he has to spend his trait point on the trait apostate. It is a required trait. And the skill he has to take is Doctrine. Alright, so these are all required. They're all opened. Cool. Right. Well, let's see what skills we want to buy for our dear friend, Ramza, Beoulve. So, he has general points from Born Noble. I think that was the next point in the character burning, but I'll just double check. Choose your livestock. Fair enough. He's not reporting anything. The age is automatically calculated. So, okay, next we're supposed to do his stats. Alright, so his mental age is mannish, and he is 28 years old by the end of the game, according to Burning Wheel. And his physical age is also mannish, 28. Okay. Will and perception, we'll just divide those equally. Wait, 4 and 4. You can kind of make him into whatever you want, but I see him sort of being this kind of knightish figure, so... let's see, how shall we divide this? For power... Um, just evenly divide it. And then give it an extra... Since he has cry, let's give him an extra speed here. Or yell, I guess it's called, yeah. He's known to be a speedy fellow. Alright, cool. So, let's take a look at skills. As a page, he can take reading, brawling, writing, read, sword, or writing. Okay, so he can take read, so let's give him read. It's opened. Let's give him has sword. We don't need to do that again. Let's give him brawling. Maybe I could see. And etiquette. Okay. Squire. So at least let's give him say he went through some knight training. So let's say he gets mounted combat training. And this is a special skill. That thing. So it's opened and takes that. Shield training. And armor training. And I think that's good for Squire. He next goes into Foot Soldier. So I think maybe appropriate weapons he'll take. So just a general fighting thing. And we'll go on to Apostate, because I don't think foraging, fire building, meh. Apostate. It's definitely going to get heretical doctrine. And that's that, I think. Okay, so those are his skills. What are he going to spend points on here? Definitely I think he'll put a couple points into sword. I could see him putting a point into etiquette. I could see him putting a point into armor training, maybe. Shield training. Maybe a point in soldiering. And I think we'll put another, let's bump his sword skill up a little bit more. And probably a point in riding. It's interesting, he doesn't get any wises. Point in read, maybe? So what? I think we'll give him an extra couple points here in etiquette. And probably an extra point in soldiering. There we go. That looks good. So his general points, he's got 5 to spend. General skill points. Let's see. I think maybe... How does that work again? So it takes 1. So I think he probably has command. He has... definitely family-wise. Oops. That was a mistake. He has... family secret-wise. He has mercenary company-wise. He's got so many wises, this guy. Oh, one more to go. Oh. Of course. He has tactics. Of course he does. It's Final Fantasy Tactics. Of course he's got tactics. What am I thinking? That's awesome. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so riding, sword, soldiering, doctrine, read, brawling, etiquette, mounted combat training, shield training, armor training, appropriate weapons, heretical doctrine, command, family-wise, family secret-wise, mercenary company-wise, and tactics. Yeah. Cool. Alright, well, I am not going to go and fix up these roots right now. I want to move on here. So let's look at his traits. Doesn't have a lot to spend, but he can have some fun ones, I'm sure. Okay, so, as a noble, he can take Mark of Privilege, your Lordship, your Eminence, your Grace. He would be your Grace, but the thing is, he is disgraced, so I don't know if he has that. As a page, there's no traits for him. As a squire, there's no traits for him. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see if he takes your Grace. As a soldier, there's no traits. So I think that just means that you get just choose from general. And as a outcast, you already took apostate. So that's interesting. So let's take a look at the Your Grace trait. Yeah. So it'd be Your Lordship. So this trait simply indicates that the character was born into lower nobility. He need not have ever led the life of a lord. So Ramza certainly didn't. Indeed, to do so would require the lord life path. However, his birthright is that of a lord, and he is accustomed to being addressed as your lordship. Failure to do so is an insult. Your character must have the your lordship trait in order to take the lord life path. I think he probably took this trait, but then had it voted out, right? But I guess we'll put it down anyway. Okay. And what do we do with our other points now? Because he doesn't have any specified, so he can kind of just choose whatever, I guess. Trait points left over after purchasing required and optional life path traits may be spent on special traits. These traits either come from the special trait list in each character stock chapter or from the general trait list in the back of the book. Each is priced from 1 to 10 points. Okay, so yeah. So those ones he could purchase for 1 point. These other ones are going to cost more. So he's just going to get to choose one 2-point trait. Cool. Maybe brave. Maybe charismatic. I don't think so, though. I think it's a special thing. He can't take chosen one, although it would fit. He doesn't have enough points for it. I mean, maybe Delita would actually be the one who gets chosen one. He's not a firstborn. Idealistic, absolutely. Inspirational? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think he's actually inspirational. He doesn't make, efforts to really inspire his followers, although they do follow him. Resolute. Virtuous, he can't afford. Okay, so let's take a look at idealistic, and if that doesn't apply, then I think it will be resolute and idealist, or not idealistic. Sorry. Let's take a look at inspiring, and if that doesn't apply, then it will probably be resolute and idealistic. Or inspirational. This character innervates and motivates other people by his mere presence. I mean, kind of, right? I think he is. So that's 2, and it's special. Alright. Cool. So that's his traits. Mark of Privilege, Apostate, Your Lordship, and Inspirational. Almost want to nix Your Lordship and give him Idealistic. Because I don't think that he actually... I don't think that Your Lordship is really that relevant to him because he probably lost it. So, next. Let's take a look at... attributes. Mortal Wound is average of power for rounded down +6. Yeah, fair. Reflexes, that should be fine. Health. Okay, so it's health questions. Does the character live in squalor and filth? Not really. Is he frail or sickly? No. Was the character severely wounded in the past? Not really. Has he been tortured and enslaved? No. Is he a dwarf, elf, or orc? No. Is the character athletic and active? Absolutely. The average of will and fort. That's 4 + 1. That's putting him up to 5. Does the character live in a really clean, happy place? No. Steel. Has the character taken a conscript, soldier, bandit, squire, or knight type life path? Absolutely. So starting is B3, so put him up to B4. Has the character ever been severely wounded? No. Has the character ever murdered or killed with his own hand? Absolutely. If he has done so more than once, raise steel by 1. Yep. Has the character been tortured, enslaved, or beaten terribly over time? No. Has the character led a sheltered life free from violence and pain? No. Has the character been raised in a competitive but non-violent culture? No. Has the character given birth to a child? No. Is the character gifted? No. If the character's perception exponent is 6 or higher, raise steel by 1. Don't think that's true. No. If the character's will stat is 5 or higher, raise steel by 1. No. If the character's fort is exponent 6 or higher, raise steel by 1. Nope. That's his steel 5. Okay. And cool. So his resource points. Let's get some relationships going, because he's got a lot of those. So, starting with Dysadarg. Dysadarg, Lord Beoulve. The cost, so starting cost is 15 RP because he is a character who is considered powerful and plays a large role in the game setting. -2 because he's immediate family. And -2 because he is hateful. He has a hateful relationship. So this is cost of 11. It is family, hateful. Zalbag. Commander... Oops. Commander of the Knights of the Northern Sky. He is probably significant. -2 because he's immediate family, and he's not hateful. So this would be 8. And then finally, he will have a relationship with Delita, Shrine Knight. And he's, you know, he's a knight of some station in the Southern Sky Knights. So he's not immediate. He is. I think he's minor character at this point still. He's not immediate family. Doesn't have romantic love. Doesn't have a forbidden relationship. Yes, that's true. Are hateful, are rivals, or extremely unfriendly. So I would say they're rivals. Not really. So I think this is a 4. So this is forbidden. Because he is a Shrine Knight and Ramza is a heretic. And I wonder if these are forbidden too. I guess they probably are. Because that's just how it is to be a heretic. It's a 7. Okay. And I don't think there's any other... Oh, Alma. Alma... She doesn't have any particular title, so we'll just say she is noble daughter of Beoulve. She's immediate family, so she's not terribly significant. So that's 5, and then immediate family brings it down to 3. And forbidden brings it down to 2. There we go. Okay, reputation. I think he has a notable reputation as a heretic. Okay, so rep 2D. Wanted heretic. And that's a 25 RP reputation. And We should just buy his gear. So we'll say he's got run-of-the-mill quality arms. That's 5 RPs. Armor. We'll say he probably has like light mail. Is 10 RPs. Oh, he can't afford that. So what can he afford? Reinforced leather. No, only a gambeson. That's not really accurate, but hey, whatever. And clothes and boy. That's tough. Need some shoes. Well, that's not terribly interesting, so let's leave that for the moment. Alright, total the resource points spent on characters' property, reputations, and affiliations, not relationship spells or gears. So reputation is 25. Divide by 15 and round down. Okay. And that is a 1. Yep. And circles. Half the will exponent rounded down. So I think it's 2. Yeah. Increased by plus 1d or if 50 or more resource points were spent on property and relationships. So that's 10, 17, 21, 23. Oh, he's so close. So close. So close. Poor buddy. That's too bad. Almost there, right? Did I get that wrong? 17, 21, 23. Yeah. Plus 25 is not quite there. Poor Ramza. Okay. It's all done. This we don't care about. Yeah. Cool. I guess that's about it for him. I mean, we could do his his physical tolerances, but it's not interesting. So let's look at his beliefs. It would be something like, if we're talking about after, like if he's in chapter 4, well, I don't think it really makes sense unless we knew exactly what situation he was in, but his instincts might be interesting. Always defend my sister. If when Delita gives me a task, do it. He's not terribly smart about that. Always challenge injustice. I think those would be good ones. And he might have like a guiding light belief. I don't know. It's hard to do beliefs without knowing the particular situation he's in. But I think it would be... I think there's probably a belief about Delita somewhere in there. And also about getting Alma, right? And then also about... stopping the Lukavi. I don't know. But... that would depend on the situation. But I feel like those are interesting. So yeah. Cool. That's what Ramza looks like if you burn him up. I mean, we'd have to actually go through and do these. But otherwise, that's the character. Neat. Feel like I could play this character in this game. It's an interesting experiment. And so I'm going to end the stream there. Thanks for watching.